Welcome back to the Coast Distinct Podcast. Your boy DJ K.O. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. It's your boy. You already know what it is. I'm glad you guys tuned into the show. I'm glad you guys told a friend to tell a friend to told a friend to tell a friend what we got going on. Last week was a good show. Shout out to Stacy. Much love to her. We got more stuff coming up with her about dating questions, dating tips, places, and things and people that you can do while dating. So we got that series coming. Much love to last week's episode, and you guys tuned in, you guys chimed in, and you guys also I got an opportunity to see what you guys really thought about what she was talking. So I thank you guys for that. Second, I'd like to thank my sponsors for this particular show. 605 Adult Beverages. It's summertime, so it's that time of the year. It's hot, so that means it's time for you to get your little daiquiri. It's time for you to get your margarita, frozen, or on the rocks, and 605 is the right people to get you in place. So appreciate you guys for sponsoring the show. Also, much love to my my partners over there at Red Core Universe. You guys not only have them culturally distinct domestically, but you have us internationally all over Tubi and Roku and all that stuff. So much love to you guys. That's what we got going. So, guys, we have a special show for you guys today. You probably seen this brother in the Houston. I ain't gonna say the Houston streets, in a good way. You know what I'm saying? You say Houston streets, that's they might be a bad connotation. You might see this brother out. Say that. You might see this brother out. You might be at one of his events, one of his functions. This brother probably sold you a property. This brother probably mentored to you. He probably gave you some words of wisdom. He probably imparted some spiritual information, you know what I'm saying, to you. So I had to bring him on the show, man. I'm glad he blessed us to come up here, and he's going to do what he has to do up here, man. I'd like everybody to welcome to the show Mr. Coach Austin.
Hey. I'm glad to be here, man.
What's going on, brother?
Man, happy, healthy, and wealthy, sir.
Oh, man, that's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
Happy, healthy, and wealthy.
Yeah.
Let me see. Do I have all three of those?
You are what you say you are.
Right? Right.
You are what you say
happy,
you are.
healthy, and wealthy.
Yeah.
Are you guys happy, healthy, and wealthy? That's a good one.
Yeah. Tell him Coach Andre said you're happy, healthy, and wealthy.
Happy, healthy, and wealthy.
And healing.
And healing. So you want me to call you Coach, call you Andre, call
Coach
you
Andre, Dre, either one is fine.
call you by your government, you know what I'm saying?
Either one is fine,
okay.
man.
So Dre, look.
Dre. Let's go Dre.
Dre, I'm going to say Dre. So Dre, let the people know who you are. So where are you originally from?
Absolutely, man. So for those that know, I'm the rhyming realtor for your dream home we need to buy or sell.
Okay.
I'm the purpose coach for those that feel like they're going through hell. I'm the speaker here to motivate, encourage, and inspire. I'm a poet as well. I've got the mic to spit bars of fire.
Okay.
The book that I wrote is changing lives as well. A servant is what I am on a mission to serve, not sell. When it's all said and done, to help others reach their full potential. By helping them find their purpose to find true joy, it is essential. So Coach Andre is my name, inspiration is who I be. It is true, I live to give, and you will notice me. Right here in Houston, Texas, baby.
Okay. So you he spin that game like Dolomite, man.
Little something for people.
I see what you got going. So now, originally from Houston.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing poetry, and how long have you been trained like that essential, I guess, element of rhyme scheme with words?
Since high school.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay.
Since high school.
So it's been like a passion, or you just started doing it?
Both. It first started when I was seeing a young lady, and I wanted to express how I felt to her, so I started to do so. I wanted to make it special, and I said, let me see if I can make it rhyme, and it just came easy to me.
Okay.
And before you knew it, I was a poet.
You know, being a poet, just that level of art is you got to be special to do that, because when you got to feel, you have to experience it, then you have to feel it,
right?
Then you got to know how to articulate it.
Correct.
Right. And so you said you did it at high school.
Yeah.
So that means you was a deep brother early, like real deep.
I don't know if I would say that, but yeah, from an early age, I've been writing it.
You know what I'm saying? Because that. So I wanna correlate that to, and I don't want to jump too fast, but
Mm-hmm.
you said something, if I'm not mistaken, you said, how did you say it? You said, I come to something to you, not sell to you. Something you said in your first opening monologue. It'll come back to me, but I want to know, how did that, the poetry side of you,
Mm-hmm.
how does that correlate to the sales side of you in terms of what you do in real life?
So, in terms of from coaching's perspective,
Yes.
what happened was I realized that I had a lot of answers to people's questions.
Okay. What you mean by that?
So, I would be in different circumstances, different environments, to where there would be dialogue, an exchange of information, and people would have a lot of questions. And oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes I would have an answer.
Okay.
And then I realized that people actually received my answer.
Okay.
Because we can all have an answer, but is it received?
Right.
Are people even grasping to the answer that you're giving them? And when I realized on a regular basis that I was adding value, and they would come back or send somebody else my way, or people would call me for advice, people would call me to get my input,
Mm-hmm.
I realized that I had something there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you, first of all, you noticed, you was aware of what you was giving.
Yeah.
Second, you was able to articulate it to a body of individuals
Mm-hmm.
who was willing to receive it.
Correct.
Because, it's a big thing if you're telling somebody, I'm
Right.
giving it, and they're not receiving it.
Correct.
It's like a modern day education.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of teachers have these curriculums, and
Mm-hmm.
they're just teaching, but
Yeah.
most of the kids are not receiving it.
At all.
That's why they're dropping out, or they doing
Mhm.
other things, misbehaving. Okay, so now I'm gonna get into that side of it.
Right.
I want to stay here for a second. I want to get into the realty side of it, selling,
All right.
the selling side of it. What made you even get into that field? Because it was many things you could have done, right? You could have been a state in the arts, right? You could have been a playboy in terms of spitting that game. You feel me?
That's funny.
I'm just saying that's a profession, man.
No, you're right.
Pimping
You're right.
is a profession.
Not for me, it ain't, but I get it.
Well,
I get it.
I
I
got
get
what
it.
you're saying,
I get it.
But I'm saying it's multiple things that you could have did in terms of using your vocabulary and using your wit.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But you decided to do the real estate
Right.
side of it.
So, in reference to the quote you were talking about, I think you said when I was said on a mission to serve, not sell.
Serve, not sell. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So serving is the essence of life for me.
Okay.
But to be honest with you, I got into real estate first a long time ago because my parents were in real estate.
Okay.
My mother owned her own mortgage company, and she did well.
Mm-hmm.
And between her, my stepdad, they thought it made sense for me to get my license, and we could run a family business. I sell the homes, they do the loans, and do it like that.
Like a one-stop shop.
Exactly. So that was back in 2004 when I got my license.
Oh, wow, you been here, Drew. You're not a new realtor.
I'm not one of these people that jumped into the business.
Yeah,
Nah,
they
I've
saw the
been
money they
doing
could
this.
make. Okay, you've been doing it.
I've been doing this.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, you part of the old school.
Next month makes my 20th year being licensed.
Okay, so you've been doing this a while.
Yeah.
So you seen the pitfalls where you was there when you saw the 2008 fall
That's when my mother lost her business.
in 2008 because all the mortgages went down.
Exactly. The subprime market went under. She lost her business.
Wow. Okay, but you maintained the real
Oh,
estate.
no, I left.
Oh, you left also?
Yeah, I left too.
So what did you do during that time?
I left and got a job. So what happened was I was working with another gentleman who was my mentor at the time. And then he asked me, he said, man, with things shifting, he said, you have a choice to make. You can either work with me and start off in the office, like 8 to 5,
Yeah.
or you can get a job. I had never worked 8 to 5.
Yeah, because
So-
real estate is a unconventional. It's like,
Right.
You make
But
your own schedule.
But I would have learned, So I left and got a job. He went on to become the #1 agent in Houston
really?
for years. He's still top.
Talking about after,
When I left, yeah.
really?
Years later, not immediately, but
Yeah.
years later, he was doing pretty well. I didn't realize who I had in front of me. I did not realize.
Wow.
He was driving the car that I wanted back then when it was
During then.
brand new.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Is he still your mentor?
Oh no, we don't. We talk every now and then, but no.
It was a time. It was just a season that y'all was supposed to meet
Right,
each other.
right. But
So
yeah.
yeah. So I want to get back to that. I want to get back to the service side of it. What is service,
Yeah.
and what does it look like for somebody that doesn't know what service is?
Yeah. So I believe that life in one word is love.
Okay.
And the best way to show love is to give. Therefore, I live to give. Serving is giving. It's serving is giving your time, your energy, your experience, your efforts, your money. Serving is sacrifice. You know, it's giving something of yourself for the betterment of somebody else to some degree.
Right. Do you think that's something that we all have, or that's something that we
It's a
have
choice.
we have to practice?
Yeah, it's a choice though.
Okay.
But it's a mindset too. Because some people have the mindset of receiving. They don't have the mindset of giving. But if you really understand, there's a law in place called the law of reciprocity.
Reciprocity, right? It's
Exactly.
a balance.
Exactly. There's a yin and yang.
Yeah.
You know, so much is given, much is required. But also at the same time, if you want to get more, give more.
Well, they have a principle in the Bible also. You know, if you believe in the Bible,
Yeah.
it says give.
And it shall be given.
It
No,
shall be
everything
given.
that I do is based on biblical foundation. Everything.
Okay.
Everything.
So you're familiar with
What?
the word?
I read it every morning.
Word. Shout out to the word.
I read it every morning.
If you know about the word, shout out to you too. Right? Yeah, but the principle says give and it shall be given. And
Right.
Throughout just life, people get that misunderstanding. They don't understand that sometimes you have to invest
Exactly.
in order to get something out of it. Or
Exactly.
to receive something out of it.
Right.
You're just not gonna get it. They think you're just people gonna give.
Yeah.
Like for
Right.
instance, good example. And I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but this is a good example. It just popped in my head. You know how people be on YouTube and they have these podcasts and they're like, I'm giving you free game. You do this, blah, blah, blah. You do this. If you buy my course. I'm like, I'm not buying your course, man. Why? If you doing it like that, why are you trying to sell me something for $19.99? Nah, dog. I'm sorry. But I don't know why I brought that up, but I'm just saying. Giving, people try to give you stuff and the information just be all jacked up, or it be half of information. It won't be the right information
Right.
because they say they're giving it. But
Right.
I say that to say people that's receiving it, they think it's something, it's free game. Sometimes I don't think game is free. I think you got to earn game. You got to go through trial and error. It's like
To give it away, yeah. Oftentimes, well,
It's
it
like hand to
depends.
hand.
There are some things that you do have to learn the hard way,
absolutely.
but there are other things. See, I heard this quote, I'll never forget. It says, a man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. So I don't have to go through something directly to get
Right.
the message. I could watch somebody else go through it and say, okay, look, that's what that is. And I
Right.
can teach that principle. So not everything you have to go through.
through,
But
yeah.
yes, but there is an essence of that there as well.
Yeah. I'm thinking about the baby. You know how they say a baby touched the stove?
Yeah, exactly.
How they learn.
Exactly.
And if I was a baby
Exactly.
behind and watching the baby touch the stove,
Right.
I ain't got to do that.
Exactly.
To see that they
That's
burnt
my
themselves.
point.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Shout out to that analogy, man. So coach, let's fast forward. I went to one of your events over here in the city, man. It was interesting because you had an open dialogue to where you had people, women and men of different demographics, different age groups, and they were open to having a discussion.
Correct.
And that was one intriguing to me because it's rare that young blacks are open to discussing
Yeah.
and articulating how they really feel about something that they really want, right? And I went to one of your events where you gave a platform to these individuals to where they're going to express their questions. And, you know, you and J Mac was the
Host.
host,
Yeah, moderators. Yeah.
moderators, and you guys was, answering the questions and everything. But it was intriguing because I didn't realize how many people wanted help or just wanted to be heard or wanted a question to be answered
Yeah.
because they're seeking something,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So how did you even get into that space?
Great question, man. So the event is called Table Talk with a Twist. And to be honest, I can't take credit for that. I didn't create that event.
Okay.
I have a friend by the name of TJ Muhan, and his co-host Yvonne, they actually started doing that first.
Okay.
It was called Convo Session. But what happened was they both have their own families, busy lives, so they weren't able to put it together as often as we would like. So J-Mac and I was like, you know what, we miss it. We're going to go ahead and pick up where y'all left off. We're going to start hosting it as well. But then we decided to put our own little twist on it, and that's what we did. So we can't take the credit, and we will always give them kudos. They don't mind the fact that we did that because it was something that needed to be done, number one, and they'll come out and support when they can. But we don't take the credit for doing that. It wasn't our event initially.
It was a good event, man. And it was interesting because
Yeah.
I've been to multiple events. Of course, like you have your typical networking events where it's business oriented.
Yep.
Then you have, this was like a networking event also because you had not just vendors
Correct.
there that soliciting their product, but you also had individuals that was professionals,
Yeah.
but they also wanted to talk about things that,
Right.
they don't really have the space to talk about. And
Correct.
I thought it was an interesting thing that Houston needs, because we always talk about relationships.
Right.
All we have the ones that's outside.
Right.
All we have, like, especially a big one, dating. The big one is dating. Everybody had these questions about dating.
Right.
Are they dating the wrong person? Or they,
Right.
whatever. And they don't have like just space to articulate it and be free without being
Right.
judged.
So the reason why, so we created a space to where it's a safe space. So even the men feel comfortable expressing themselves, which is what's needed.
Right.
Because too often times there are these platforms where people don't feel open enough to express themselves because they're going to be judged. But we've created an environment to where you feel comfortable doing so. Because it's not about judgment. It's about dialogue. It's
Right.
about being understood. It's about being able to express yourself and let people hear you so that they can understand your perspective and your experiences.
Do you think that some people will ever be understood?
I think it comes down to their level of maturity.
Okay.
Because once you continue to mature to a certain degree, you can learn how to articulate things in such a way where you can say them and be understood. But I think one of the issues we have is that people sometimes haven't learned how to express themselves without talking at somebody.
Okay.
They're very combative. They're very, what's the word? They're very on guard.
Okay.
And that comes off in their tone. It comes
Defensive.
off in their word. Exactly.
They're defensive, yeah.
Yeah. But you have to learn through being healed, through maturity, through being secure in oneself, how to do those things.
Yeah, and that's that's something, that's a heavy topic to talk
It
about
is.
because that's more of a therapy session, lack of ego understanding,
Right.
less in yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's a person has to go through that whole
Yeah.
that whole journey, that whole experience.
I agree.
Just to understand.
But that's the thing, though, because all those things come out of your mouth.
Right. That's true.
Out of the heart, the mouth speaks.
That is true. That is true. And a lot of people don't know that, though. And even though that's a word, that's a scripture.
That's a scripture.
It's a scripture in the Bible, but a lot of people
Exactly.
don't know that, though. Even though that's an everyday principle, but if a person is thinking, they're going to say it eventually.
Yeah.
Right.
Or they're going to show it in their actions.
So if you women, I'm going to say you women.
Don't get cut, bro.
So you individuals, you people, I'm going to say you people. That sounds weird. So you guys that go to dinner expecting certain things, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not fair. That's not fair for the other person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
First date,
yeah, man.
don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to take that brother to steak 48 the first night. Don't do that. That's a whole nother discussion. We're not gonna do that.
Whole nother discussion.
So we're gonna fast forward. So now you have the event, the table talk.
Yeah.
But you also are an author,
Correct.
right? So what inspired you to be an author?
Man, that wasn't my God.
Okay.
He gave me the title to the book back in, I want to say 2015.
Okay.
I didn't write a thing till like 2021.
What the title is, The Power. What is it? The Power is not for you.
Your purpose is not for you.
Oh, your purpose is not for
Yeah,
you.
I'm the poetic purpose coach. I push people to pursue purpose.
Your purpose is not for you.
Correct.
Okay. So a step-by-step guide. What is that?
to
Of
understand.
understanding the purpose and understanding why it is not for you.
Correct.
You got to break that down. You got to break that down.
I don't want to give too much away. You got to get the book.
Yeah, that is true. But all right, so this stay on the topic.
Uh-huh.
On the actual topic, the topic of the book.
Yeah.
The title of the book. I'm sorry.
Right.
Your purpose. First of all, let's break down purpose.
Sure.
All right.
Your reason for existence.
So that's what purpose is.
Correct.
For people that's watching. So you heard this term purpose. So you heard this term saying you're doing that on purpose, or your purpose is set and meant for you. So the title of purpose is
Your purpose is not for you.
It's not for you. But I'm saying, what's the definition? Your
The
definition.
your reason for existence.
Your reason for living.
Yep.
For even being on this earth.
Correct.
Do you have a purpose?
Correct.
Do you believe everybody has a purpose?
Every single one.
Everyone
and everything.
and everything has a purpose.
Correct.
No. But the purpose, according to you, I'm not getting to the book. I'm just talking about the title.
Uh-huh.
You're saying that whatever that person was put here to do is not for them.
100%.
So I want you to break it down without giving too much in the book. give a what's that? How do you say that? When you get a book, but you get the one for dummies.
Oh, the Cliff Notes.
Yeah, the clip. Yeah.
I'll say this. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
Okay.
When I said life in one word is love.
Okay.
And the best way to show love is to what? Give. Serve.
Okay. Okay, I got you. So I understand I see where you're going. I see where you're going with it. I pick up what you're putting down. I pick up what you're putting down. I'm tying everything in.
Yeah.
To where it goes back to that time.
But it's deep though. It's deep. It really is deep. When you start reading the book, you start to understand things. You gotta, because most people are living a very unfulfilled life.
Yes.
Most people are waking up, going to a job they don't like. They're getting paid what they don't want to be earned. There's not enough.
85% of people out here.
Exactly. And then they're coming back. They're living in a place they don't want to live at, driving where they don't want to drive. And they're literally can't wait for the weekend. They get up and can't wait to come back to the bed. It's an unfulfilled life.
And like you said, go out to the weekend to hang out with people that they don't like.
Man, look.
I'll purchase things.
And can't wait to get drunk to forget about their problems that they're dealing with.
Or purchase things they can't afford.
To show off to people that don't like them and they don't like.
Oh, they don't even know. That's a depressing life, my brother.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are going into that.
Right. I mean, how exciting is your life if you can't wait till it's Friday?
Wow.
Every day is my Friday.
Yeah. that I was having a friend, man, I had a discussion with a friend about that last Monday. And she was telling me that she doesn't work because she put the work in. She had a plan since she was 20.
Right.
She said she's going to retire at 41. And she did it, retired.
Wow.
So she's like, she said every day is my Friday.
Exactly.
She said I could do whatever I want, when I want, how I want.
Right.
Financially, I could travel to where I want.
Right.
I could do anything I want to do because I set myself up for that. But she had a plan in place.
I talk about that. I coach about that, about having a plan. Plan your work your plan.
Yeah.
In my coaching program, we go through that plan. See, most of us go through life, but we never had a plan. We literally just go through life.
Right.
Why don't you have a plan? And what does that plan look like? How do you set up that plan? We weren't taught these things in school, so that's why I teach these things.
That's a real question.
Yeah.
What's your plan? What's your purpose?
Right. And it's kind of hard to have a plan if you don't know your purpose.
That's right.
So that's why I speak and coach on both.
That's good, man. You talking about some heavy topics, man.
It matters, bro.
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
Needed and necessary.
For real.
That's about it.
And that goes to both sides, male and female.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't understand why you're waking up every morning,
right?
If you don't have a plan or a vision,
right?
You don't understand your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know why you're here. You just existing.
You just live and die.
And
the sad part is, here's the sad part. You can't even show your children because you don't know. So now it gets passed off and now it becomes a generational thing.
Yeah. I think it was Miles Monroe. He said something like this. The late Miles Monroe. He said
the richest place in the world.
He said something about potential. He said the place with the most potential in the world is the graveyard.
That's the richest place in the world.
because people
That's
died.
exactly how I start off. The book starts off with that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Miles Monroe's quote. Exactly.
Oh, really?
It
Oh,
starts
okay.
off with that quote.
Okay, I must have read that book
It
already.
says the
now.
richest. It says the richest place in the world is a cemetery. Because there
Yes.
you'll find books that were never written.
That's right.
Songs that were never sang.
Yep.
Sermons that were never preached. Businesses that were never started. Yeah, it's the richest place in the world.
Yeah.
Graveyard.
It
Cemetery.
is. It's the most potential.
Yeah.
At the most potential there. Wow, that's heavy.
Because, yeah,
That's good. I want them to get the book now.
absolutely.
Because it's purpose driven.
Yeah.
Rick Warren had a book that he wrote years ago, The Purpose Driven Life.
I know about it. I read it.
Yeah, so that's the book we had to read.
Yeah,
when we was
that's a
younger.
long book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Old school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rick Warren.
The
Yeah.
Purpose Driven Life, and he basically similar to your book. So I want to fast forward. So now we have the real estate, we have the businessman, we have the event coordinator, the moderator, we have the artist, the poet,
Yeah.
we have the author.
Uh-huh.
So the next question is, who are you?
Who am I?
Who are you? Who is Andre Notice?
Servant.
Okay,
I'm a servant leader.
that's it.
That's it.
Servant.
To the core,
Okay,
I'm here for God's glory.
okay,
I'm a vessel.
okay.
I'm a vessel that he's using to place purpose in people. Help them bring it out. Reveal it to them.
So now, is that who you are, or is that what you do? Because there's a difference.
There is a difference. That's more of what I do. But
Now, who are you? That's a heavy question.
yeah, now, if you ask me who I am,
Of course, you Andre Notice. Yeah, that's
right,
your
right.
name.
I'm a son of the living God.
Okay. The reason why I asked that question, and I asked that question to some people that come up here, that have heavy conversation, because that's one of the questions that we never ask ourselves.
Right.
Because we, most of the time, what we do in the world and the earth is good, or we consider it as good, or we're helping.
Right.
But we never take time for ourselves to
Agreed.
realize, who am I? Even though I'm called for a purpose to his plan, even though I understand, I have the vision, I have the plan, I understand my purpose, but who am I? And why am I doing this? See what I'm saying? So sometimes it's good for us to ask ourselves those questions.
I agree.
Because we're so busy doing the work
Right.
versus
For everybody else too.
Yes, versus understanding ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we might want to sit back and think about that when we leave and go home.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, it depends on how you look at it.
Okay.
It's a perspective.
Okay.
Because really, I'm spirit. I'm just using this vessel to hold the spirit that's
Okay.
within me. So it just depends on how you look at it.
Okay. So now, where did you learn your spirituality, and why did you think it was important for you to continue it in your adulthood?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. I grew up in the church. That's just where it started. That was just a starting point. But to be honest, I had to seek and learn God for myself.
Okay.
So through having my own personal relationship, oh man, I've seen and experienced some things to where my faith cannot be wavered.
Okay.
Regardless of what anybody tries to show me or says or anything, somebody else's thoughts, feelings, emotions, they can't trump my personal experiences and encounters.
Right. So you had like a Paul experience,
Oh, many.
thrown off the donkey.
I didn't go blind.
Right.
I wasn't blind, but I've had.
But you
I've
see what
had
I'm
some
saying? We had that
yeah,
experience
exactly.
where you can't forget it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
multiple.
Multiple of them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that was for purpose? For
Yes.
you to get something out of it?
Yeah, for the longest, I didn't know why I was experiencing these things, but I'm starting to understand now.
Okay. So now, when you have these talents, when you have this ability to galvanize people, you have this ability to put your words on paper, because you told me, with the book, you started with the thought of the book in 2015, but
Yeah.
you didn't create it until what?
2021, correct?
2021. So
Yeah.
that was 6 years, I believe.
Yeah.
6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it took you a while to
Work
go
my
through
way.
the process.
Yeah.
Now, when dealing with people, and I'm gonna say women, because I'm pretty sure a lot of women, I want to fast forward to like relationships,
Okay.
because a lot of women want relationships. They want real relationships like
Yeah.
that. They want that grandparent love
Yeah.
that they seen. They want that
Mhm.
long term.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure when they, you have female friends that that you consult with that you teach them the principles of Christ or principles of the Bible, stuff like that. What would you say to a person or woman that's looking to date seriously, right? Looking to date seriously, and they they doing everything right. They're going to the church house. They're praying. They working. They're being diligent. They're being peaceful. They're working on themselves, but they can't find a man.
Yeah.
Right? Not find a man, but they can't find what they're looking for, or whatever.
Yeah.
What's some words to encourage them? Like, what do you tell them?
Yeah. So a couple of things. Number one, there's a quote written by Maya Angelou. She said that a woman has to be so caught up in God that the man has to go through God to reach her.
Mm.
That's the first thing.
Okay.
The second thing is the word says that he who findeth the wife. So she's not supposed to be seeking. She's supposed to be working, living in her purpose. Like the story of Ruth and Boaz.
Yeah, the Boaz, yeah.
She was working. She had to be working.
She had a job.
Exactly. She was doing her thing. So the thing about it is too many women are seeking instead of waiting.
Mm.
And I heard another quote from somebody, I'm not going to say his name, but he said that you're not a wife when I married you, you're a wife when I met you.
That's right. Keon Henderson said that.
I'm not going to say where I heard it from.
Okay.
That's not who I heard it from.
Oh, okay.
But, so the thing about it is you got to become a wife first.
Yes.
So many people are looking for relationships that they're really to the core are not ready for. Because they're not healed. They still have trauma. They still have all these things that haven't been dealt with.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I would say is one of the biggest issues we have in dating is a lack of patience. You got to have patience. Patience and able to. So too often when a woman or a man, but from what I've seen, a lot of women, when they meet somebody, I saw this picture. It was hilarious. It's a photo of a woman, and she's wearing the bridal gown.
Okay.
With the flowers in her hand and everything. And what it says is, under the photo, it says how women after 40 date. Show up to a first date.
Wow.
And it's funny because, and I shared it, it's funny because there is some degree of truth to that. It's like you show up expecting this or hoping for this to be the one, and it shows up in your actions. Now, what's unfortunate is you're going to meet a lot of people when you go throughout life, a lot of different individuals. Now, what you don't want to do is be so quick to place an individual that you met into a box.
Right.
So too often we place somebody that we met into, oh, well, he's not that person, he's here. Mm-hmm. And then when you do that, you can block your blessing. Because oftentimes when they don't fit into the box that you place them in, too often we cut them off. And if God wants to bless you, he usually does it through people. Sometimes God is trying to bless you, but you cut the person that he's about to give the carry off. You cut them off. The blessing is supposed to come through this person, but you cut that person off because they didn't look like what you wanted them to look like.
Right.
Lack of patience. And then the last thing is discernment. You got to be able to discern boys from men. You got to be able to sit back and take a look and say, his words and his actions are not lining up. Let me take a step back. You got to, because a man that really wants you is going to come get you.
I agree.
He's not going to leave space and opportunity for somebody else to come and get you. No, he's going to come get you. His actions and his words will line up.
I agree with that. So now what would you tell a man
that's looking?
Yeah.
Some of those things are the same, but the main thing is, I believe that when a man that really has a relationship with his father, when he finds the right one, he'll know it.
Okay. So you believe in that?
Yeah.
You believe in the right one?
I'm gonna tell you a story. There was a man that he went out with his best friend, and he saw a woman. The moment he saw that woman, he told his best friend, "That's my wife." Now, what's interesting is when he made that statement, that woman was married. But guess what? They've now been married 26 years.
Really?
24 years.
Okay.
That woman is my wife.
The reason why I say that, you believe in that, because I believe that we never married. We're always one step away from our soulmate. But through practice, we're not going to leave a situation because of small turbulence or consistent turbulence over the years. We're going to stay. This is how we was taught. Even though your soulmate is right next door.
Mm-hmm.
We're not. Most of us is not. Well, now let me back that up. When I was coming up, no, they're not doing it. But now, yeah, they're leaving. They're like, we out of here, because they know what's good for them. But back then, nah, they wasn't doing it. They was never leaving. They're gonna stay married for 40, 50 years, just because their grandparents or their mother and father did it.
Yeah.
And that's the way that
Right.
they would say God.
The mindset have shifted.
Yeah.
But also, you have to realize it was different back then because women weren't making their own money like they are right now.
Yeah. They
It
couldn't
was
work.
harder for them to leave.
Yeah.
Because they were dependent upon the man. Now, a lot of these women making more money than the men.
Yeah. And they out of there.
So it's different, and they're putting up with a lot. Some of these women are putting up with a lot more than back then as well.
way more.
Yeah.
No, they're not putting nothing with nothing now because they don't have to.
Well, what I'm true.
They out of there.
But what I'm
See
saying
ya.
is the things that they're running away from, is different than back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
There wasn't. I mean, you might have had a few down low men back then, but right now, oh my God.
Yeah, I know that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother discussion, but it's real. It's real.
It's real. That is a real discussion.
It's a real thing.
Because it's really happening, like in real life. This is not a diss to nobody, but this is really happening. It's an epidemic.
Yeah.
Like it was like, but that ain't none of my decision. We gotta look. Dre gonna get me in trouble, man. We gotta get out of here though. But look, Andre. Before we get out of here, man, I want you, even though this is gonna come out, because Father's Day is Sunday, and this is gonna come out the day after Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, by the way.
Appreciate it, brother. You have kids?
No, yet. Not
No
yet.
kids. I appreciate it. Happy Father's to all the fathers.
Absolutely.
So this is going to come out, and I know you have an event coming up today.
Tonight. It's going down.
Tonight.
You coming through?
Yeah, I'm gonna pass through
Bet.
and make some noise.
Yeah, man.
And, but I want you to give the people your information, like the next events you got coming up.
Yeah.
How can they get the book, website, Instagram information, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely. So, again, my name is Coach Andre, and I am the Poetic Purpose Coach, and I push people to pursue purpose, and I'm easy to be found. You can just go to andrenotice.com. Notice is my real last name. It's not a marketing gimmick. That is my real last name. You can get the book at purposeforme.com. It shows $29, but when you order, it's actually $19.99 plus shipping and handling. And I have a couple other books as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can Google me, and I'll pull up.
So it's gonna be Andre Notice for everything.
AndreNotice.com.
.com.
Or Instagram is at You Will Notice Me. The letter U will notice me.
What about the next event?
Yeah, so the event tonight is going down. I haven't planned my next one after this one yet.
Okay.
We may do another table talk next month. If so, I'll let you know.
Okay.
But yeah, the event tonight is going to be a networking event, networking with a twist. So I like to add my own little spin on it.
Oh, that's dope. That's
Yeah,
dope. I
it's
think,
going down.
honestly, I think me personally, you should do a podcast. Do the same format, but make it out of podcast recorded. It'll be dope, and then air it. That's just me,
Okay, let's talk about that. And I'm open to hearing your thought process on how that could work.
Yeah, I think it'd be dope because it's a lot of interesting questions that come out of that,
Yeah.
and a lot of people listen. They be like, "Wow, I never thought about that."
Yeah.
So they learn it from at the same time.
I'm open to it, man. It's just that I'm not trying to put more on my plate.
Oh yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Cameras and light setup.
Yeah.
Editing. Oh yeah, it's a lot.
It.
It is a lot.
If I did do it, I would have to do batch recording. Like I would have to take one day and do a whole bunch of episodes.
Yeah.
And then release them as I need to.
Yeah.
I would have to do it like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does. Yeah, because time just takes so long to do. So
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. But guys, we gotta get out of here. Guys, look, I appreciate you, Coach Andre, coming up here, man. Look, hope you guys learned something from it. I know you guys learned something from it, man. and talk about your purpose, your plan, talk about who you are in life, just who you are. Just to have that simple conversation with yourself, man. That's always a good thing, man. So, man, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. I know you guys gonna have questions. You have questions for me, you know how to get in contact with me at Culturally Distinct. That's everywhere. If you have anything you want to tell Andre, AndreNotice.com, hit him up on IG, hit him up on his website. He gonna be in the streets, he gonna be in the city, so you know where he is. You want to buy a house from him, hit him up anyway. You know, he still got to make some money, so put some money in the man's pocket. So anyway, guys, man, appreciate you 605 Adult Beverages for your sponsorship, Red Core Universe for your partnership. I appreciate you guys also, man. Look, guys, this show wouldn't be nothing without you, man. Look, you guys made us #1 in Houston last year. We're gonna be probably #1 again in Houston this year. So you know, this is what we do, because it's not me. I bring people of the community on to tell your stories. So guys, I appreciate you guys, man. Culturally Distinct podcast, and before we get out of here, we do a word. One word of the day, right? So word for the week, I'm sorry. So I want you to give the word of the week. So the first word that pops up in your mind, what would you tell the people?
First word of the day is blessed.
Bless. Be blessed in the city, blessed in the field, blessed where you come, blessed where you go.
That's it.
Hey, look, I'm quoting the scripture. Yeah, y'all gotta get out. We gotta get out here, guys. I appreciate you guys. Much love. I love you guys. You can't do nothing about it. Peace.